just like topless Taco Bell. To each steak. High five and six of fame.
Just like cornbread done too well. What you need, you know I got. So hands up, who wants to rock?
Yeah, greetings, Metal Faithful. This is the Metal Hammer of Doom. I'm your mandated reporter, Mr. Mark Rattledge, and frankly, I'm mortified. That over there, that's Robert Cooper. Welcome back, Robert Cooper. That over there is the disapproving dad, Mr. Jesse Starcher, and the host of Social Material in his own right. Again, Mr. Jesse Starcher. Listen, we're going to review Amorphis, Queen of Time, tonight. But first, I have to do something very important because Jesse, before the show, asked me where he should take his children, his male children, to eat while the women were on vacation, as they go to every summer. And I said, have you checked out a restaurant? And he went, what in the holy hell is a restaurant? And I said, well, restaurants are places like steakhouses where the waitresses are topless. And he went, there are no such things. And I said, but there are. And here we go. From the Huffington Post in 2012, the 10 restaurants you should know. Are you ready, Jesse?
Oh, I've never wanted to interrupt an intro more in my life, but please. Please continue on with this silliness. Let me hear it. I want to hear all about these restaurants.
All right. I expect that you should at least... I mean, I don't know about Colton. He might be a little too young for the restaurant, but you should absolutely take Caleb.
Dude, the reaction of this kid. I mean, my goodness. It would be off the charts. I don't think he would be able to eat. He would be so...
Is he really craving some milk?
He's like, I mean, the dude gets all like, uptight and, Dad, did you hear what they said? Man, you walk into a restaurant with straight up like titties everywhere. I mean, the kid's not going to be able to concentrate. He will have no idea. Uh-oh. Speaking of my son Caleb, who just came back from vacation Bible school, ladies and gentlemen.
Ask him if he wants to go to a restaurant.
I'm not asking him that. What Bible verse did you learn tonight? How's that? What Bible verse did you learn tonight?
Boo.
Hang the Pope, hang the Pope, hang the Pope, hang him from a fucking rope. That's the one I learned from Fear Assault 3-4.
Hang the DJ, hang the DJ, hang the DJ. Hang the DJ, 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 hang the DJ. All right, so this article isn't working the way it's supposed to.
I think your computer's not working.
Well,
that's awesome, Caleb. I'm glad you got to enjoy some wholesome fun tonight.
Caleb.
Because Mark Rattledge, who is yelling at you right now, but you cannot hear him because I have my headphones on, and that's a good thing. He's
Caleb,
not upset. He's trying to talk to you, son. I don't think you should be doing that. Go ahead.
How do you feel about restaurants, Caleb?
Caleb, it's good seeing you, buddy. You go on upstairs. I love you, son. Well, right from my heart.
If you come down to Florida, you can. There are 2 locations for Mugs and Jugs.
Mugs and
let's see. In Texas, there's a place called. In Texas, there's a place called Twin Peaks. I guess that's the place Robert was talking about.
We were just talking about that, yeah.
Yep. That's an advertisement. Okay. There's a Seattle-based Cowgirl Espresso, which is a coffee kiosk manned by cowgirls in bikinis.
Oh my goodness, cowgirls in bikinis, Caleb. What do you think?
I can hear him.
Oh my gosh, you can hear Mark. Please put the earphones down, son.
Think about the children.
I am thinking about the children.
Let me. Oh. Okay, all right, you get on up there. My goodness. What? Okay, so are these ranked tip to bottom, or 1 to 10?
No. And I'm really. This whole thing got started because Jesse was like, "I need to find a steakhouse where the women are topless," and
never said it. Go ahead.
Well, we're the Medal of Doom, so...
That's right, the Medal of Doom.
All right, it's topless coffee shops and other businesses where nudity is a bonus. This is from a travel article, Thrillist.com, published in 2014. All right, Jesse, so I think I finally found what you were looking for. And Jesse is once again thinking, why do I do this show? There's a topless hair salon called Hot Cuts in Sydney, Australia. It's a little out of the way.
No, man, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. You think about that for a second.
Yeah.
They're cutting your hair. They are cutting your hair.
Yeah.
And that's right in your face.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think most of the women that cut my hair I really want to see naked.
Well, have you ever like gotten a haircut and they're just right up on you, and you're like, where do I put my hands? And like, you're like trying to not be a pervert, but but it's just things are happening. It's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. And the fact that you move your hands signals that you're actually thinking about what's happening with your hands and where her body parts are.
Yep.
So you're letting on that. I'm aware, and I don't want to, and that's respectable. But the thing is that do you turn to a statue like I would? I just would not move. That's pretty much what I would.
So what you're saying is you get hard.
That's what I was gonna say. This is the greatest Amorphis podcast yet.
Bastards.
So, I don't know if everyone knows this, but Robert Cooper is an avid golfer, especially now that he's management at Lowe's. And he was asking about where could he... And he golfs best when he's not wearing any pants. So I have something for you here, Robert Cooper, for your pantsless golf extravaganza. Le Jenny Naturist course in Le Porge, France. No one really looks good in pastels or plaid, so the always fashion-conscious French came up with a nifty solution. Hit the links without your clothes. So if you should ever find yourself in France, you could go naked golfing. All right, so here's what Jesse was looking for. I finally found it. New York City, Robert's Steakhouse. This place serves up American dream in the form of red meat as well as titillating cuisine. No, really. The food's supposed to be excellent. Flirtatious servers will feed you or give you lap dances.
Whoa!
So then there's Rachel's, West Palm Beach. You can enjoy your meal in full elegant dining room or in the middle of the strip club next to the stage of your choice. You should feel like there isn't enough flesh on your plate already.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Eat their liver?
Coffee shops. There's the Bottoms Up Espresso. That's in Washington. There's the Chatno Cafe in San Jose. And
now, all these names are lame. I want to know what I'm getting into. I want something that says, like the Big Tit Coffee Cup or something along those lines. Let me know what I'm getting into.
How about Boob Cuts?
Boom! Nailed it!
Well, that's coming soon to Las Vegas, Nevada, or at least it was in 2014.
Boob Cuts. It's either a hair salon that is topless or a very, very violent breast exam. I don't know. It's not. It's a good name. It's a good name. You just better know what you're getting into. Las Vegas is kinky like that. You never know.
Best Tampa Gentlemen's Club Steakhouses in Tampa. No, I don't want that. I'm trying to find something for you, Jesse. Something in Ohio.
I would love to cover an Amorphis album soon. Is that on the agenda tonight for the Metal Hammer of Doom? This is the Metal Hammer of Doom.
Buck's Naked Barbecue and Steakhouse. Where is
That's a great
Buck
name.
and he wants to fuck.
where is Buck's?
That is a great name.
This is looks like it's in Maine. That's fantastic. Worst barbecue. Worst barbecue I have ever eaten.
Oh, we're looking at reviews now?
Yep.
Okay, I was hoping that wasn't the name of the restaurant.
All right.
You guys want to go to the worst barbecue I've ever eaten?
I would.
Deal on Fifth?
I would. I would absolutely.
Smells like beaver, smells like Cretan.
I would absolutely in a red hot second. All right. Let's see here. Best topless steakhouse, Las Vegas lifestyle. Oh. Not a lot of topless steakhouses in Ohio, Jesse. I'm sorry.
Well, from what I understand, if I remember hearing this correctly, Ohio is one of the few states that you can go around topless in.
Really?
No, thank you.
I mean, we're progressive like that.
All right. I feel like I've run this bit into the ground, and we should probably start.
Yeah, a bit.
You think so?
Un pequeño. Just the tip, though.
All right. We are going to review eventually Queen of Time by Amorphis. Amorphis are a Finnish heavy metal band. This is their 13th studio album. It was released May 18th. We're finally getting around to it. And I got into Amorphis a few years ago. I think it was their last album. I thought it was pretty cool. It had some really interesting stuff on it. So we're going to go ahead and review their newest album tonight. Now, Robert Cooper, tell me about your experience in restaurants. No, tell me about your experience with...
My cousin found this girl that had a bag of cocaine.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's when I walked off.
Aw.
That is when I left. I'm like, no, sir, no booger sugar for me.
Book of sugar. Okay. What do you know about Amorphis, sir?
I know they're awesome.
Cool.
I've been a fan of them for a while. It comes back from the same place I found all the bands I've listened to in college. Dan Haggerty's Mosh Pit column. Back when I used to download a song per album he recommended. So yeah, I remember he recommended, I want to say 10,000 Lakes, which is their second album. And then I just found it for $5 at a used bookstore, and I was like, hey, why don't I just buy the fuck out of this? So I did. And it was glorious.
Not just buy it, but buy the fuck out of it?
Oh, yeah. Along with, I really should have bought this album by the band called Anwile, and I didn't, and I really regret it, because that band is fucking titties, and I'll never find that album for $1 again.
Aw. Life is full of missed opportunities. Speaking of missed opportunities, what do you think? What do you think of Amorphis so far, Jesse? Because I know that I don't think you listen to any of Under the Red Cloud, but you definitely...
No, you're incorrect, sir. I listened to Under the Red Cloud shortly after it came out, and I think... What's that?
I said you were like about it. You were so excited.
I was, man. I remember.
Are you implying that Jesse had his face buried deep in its tits?
I mean, why not? That album's definitely a double D recording.
Oh my god! I just farted so loud and so hard. I actually feel better now. Like going into this show.
Did it crack your back?
What?
Did it crack your back?
I just I'm so tired, dude. I'm just so tired. Between the weekend and then this week at work, I've been killing myself. And then tonight, there wasn't a proper dinner, so I stopped at 7-Eleven, and then I came home and I ate emergency chicken. and then my
Well,
wife.
there's all sorts of stuff that is clearly incorrect in your gastrointestinal diet as you're going through 7-Eleven to grab stuff to eat. Ugh.
Fancy chicken. Did you find it in a wall like Castlevania?
No.
Or
Well, no.
or do you just have it
There's a woman I work with. Shout out to you, gal. And she, whenever she buys lunch, she always buys an extra. Like, we tend to get a lot of Mexican where I work, or a lot of Tex-Mex.
Well, not anymore.
And so she'll buy whatever, but then she always she buys like an extra, and she refers to it as her emergency taco, and or emergency burrito or whatever. It's always like an emergency something, and it's for later on in the day when she's feeling a bit peckish. And so today, the lunch I brought with me was just not cutting it. It was just like cracker cheese spaghetti thing that my wife concocted, and I ate it with the broccoli, and it wasn't. It's not that it wasn't delicious, because it was. It just wasn't filling, which is weird because you would think like spaghetti and cheese would be, but it wasn't.
Dude, spaghetti wasn't filling? What are you, a Barbian?
I was so hungry. So
Go back to your ship, you Viking bitch.
5 minutes, I bet, we'll spend on the fact that you fucking farted and you feel better. I'm so glad that we get to have this conversation as well. Please continue.
You're welcome, sir. Anyway.
So, if it cracked his back, though.
Well, hang on. I'm trying to get to the point of this whole rant. So, like, I came home.
So I farted. That's the end.
Well, no. I texted my wife earlier in the day, and I was like, "I need you to come to work and bring me emergency chicken." So, I was playing off the whole emergency taco thing, and she was like, "I'm nowhere near you. It's not going to happen." And then my wife, again, spent all evening at my mother-in-law's, which means there was no dinner at home, which means she told me go home and eat emergency chicken. Okay, so I did. So I gorged on emergency chicken, and then I passed out in my bedroom till about 8:30. And when I got up, I got up, and she was like, "Oh, I brought you a treat." So she brought me Taco Bell. Now at this point, I'd already gorged on emergency chicken.
And you ate the Taco Bell.
I had part of the Taco Bell, not the whole thing. I could only eat so much of it. And I put the rest in the fridge, and then I got on this show, and I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to even do this anymore. I'm so tired. I just want to sleep." And then I just ripped the loudest, most aggressive fart. I just farted in a way that it's going to start a fight with somebody. Like
this is one you fart at somebody.
This fart is in the street.
Using your sphincter.
This fart is in the street, tapping people on the shoulder, going, "You want to go punch for punch?" That's what this fart's doing right now.
Oh man!
And I actually feel a little bit better. It helped. It helped that I helped Jesse find an activity for him and his son to go to a restaurant. But what really helped was this aggressive fart. Anyway,
I don't know if there will ever be an intro to a show before we've gone off some crazy shit before, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, as a matter of fact, we've discussed your bowel movement on the show at one point that you had after eating Taco Bell. But no, when you actually farted on the show and then decided to talk about what led to the fact that you farted the loudest fart in quite a while, it's probably up there in show intros. So Amorphis.
I don't know why we don't get more than 20 downloads.
Right now, Under the Red Cloud album.
Lamar could be under the brown cloud.
I sit here and I wonder, as we're talking about all this, why don't we have more than 20 downloads per show?
Yeah.
Is it really just 20?
No, sometimes it's more.
God, that's fucking pitiful.
Well, it's all right. It's probably because of quality audio like this.
Yes. The content that we bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, is
high quality.
Yes, it's unsurpassable, if that's a word. Unsurpassed? How's that? By the way, Under the Red Cloud.
Metaconia.
I can pronounce his name.
Metaconia?
I can pronounce his name.
I'll tell you what came out of me just now was Metaconia.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jesse. Try it one more time and see if this time we let you talk.
I'll just let you know that I really like the album. It was fun to listen to one of the surprise albums of 2000 when that came out, 2015.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. So I liked Under the Red Cloud. I listened to it a lot. It's probably one of the first. It is the first Amorphis album I ever listened to, but it was good front to back. A lot of great songs on there. Death of a King sticks out as one of them. Bad Blood, which is not a cover of the Taylor Swift song. But yes, top to bottom, it was a great album. So I was really excited to hear that because I don't think we covered it in 2015.
We did not
on this show. So I was really glad to see you throw the new album on the schedule because I think this is a band that deserves attention.
Robert Cooper, you ever fart so hard that your ass just feels like it's on fire? Like it hurts? Like your ass just vibrates?
Dude, I swear to goodness.
Like, I really hate the one where it's just like, you just feel like your ass cheeks are just like one of those instruments where it's got the two hands, you just flip it back and forth, and it's just like, yeah, I hate when you fart like that.
You mean like an accordion?
I think it's called a clavo. And you know what's funny? There's one time I met a friend of mine's boyfriend, and I hate him, he's a douche, but he farted and looked at me, and I said, is that a challenge? He goes, yes. And then I let one of those farts for 15 seconds because I'd been holding it for 2.5 hours. And then I locked eyes with him, and he went back to his phone because he even said, I admit defeat. You are my king.
That's how you show somebody you're a real man. All right.
Oh, yeah. And there's one she was texting him to tell him I said hi. And he said, yes, he said, hello, my king. You're damn straight.
All right, Jesse, would you like us to play some music now?
Yes.
Out our asses.
Please do. Let's get into the album, or at least talk about the album that's coming up here that we're going to be listening to.
I don't know why you'd want to do that on a metal review show, but sure, whatever.
No idea.
All right, this one is called The Bee.
Not the bees.
Let Mortal Kombat begin.
Dun, 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 dun.
Jesse Starcher, I know you want to get down to business. What did you think of The Bee?
Well, now, that was an opening to a song that I was not expecting from Amorphis. The opening to that, just like you stopped it sounded very, it just didn't sound like what I was used to from Under the Red Cloud. But soon after that, it becomes very familiar with what I've grown accustomed to from hearing from these guys. I really like this first song. I think it's a strong opener. And I mean, we get to rocking just right out the bat. And again, like a band that knows what they're doing, the purpose of usually what you want to do in that first song is to kind of let the listeners know what they're going to be getting. And I think you definitely have a lot of that happen in this first song. Just real quick, these guys have been together for 30 years?
I did.
30 years, man. I mean, it's the core group. I know they brought in some people, but the core founders of this band have been together for that long. And, you're expecting something, I think, what the angry metal guy called the law of diminishing records.
Returns.
I think is what he was. No, it's not returns. He called it law of diminishing records, where as your albums, as the more albums you get, the less impressed you're going to be by them. So this is their 13th album that we're getting into here. As we go through the album, we'll obviously tell you what we think of it. But to be together that long, put out that many albums, you get kind of concerned when you see Under the Red Cloud, which I've really enjoyed. Are they going to be able to keep up the pace? And this first song, I think they do a fine job. I think we're back to good old standard Amorphis fare, maybe a little bit of evolution in their sound. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go on. Coop?
I mean, the beginning of this track wasn't all that much of a surprise to me. Through the I'd actually say the late 90s to the late 2000s, they actually had a much softer sound. I'm not going to say they were playing, playing some smooth listening jazz or anything, but they had far less death metal vocals. Tuonela is actually a really good album by them that I own. I actually own a few Amorphis albums, but they do a really good job with the clean vocals and the more synth-based sound. Actually, from 10,000 Lakes, there's Cold Winter Day, or Black Winter Day is one of my favorite tracks off that. It starts out with a pretty nice keyboard synthesizer combo and has a really sweet solo towards the end as well. It's, they've got a lot going on as a band, and I think they have a lot to offer, really.
Layered is a word that I saw a lot in the interviews, in the reviews that I read, and I believe that's a very apt word for or apt descriptor for this band, because you get a lot involved. Now, I don't know what it was like earlier. I mean, was what we hear on this album a lot different when it comes to like the elements of 10 years ago or 15 years ago, Coop? Are we hearing choir? I know you already talked about the death growl, the death metal vocals and stuff like that, but we had choirs involved here, a lot of different instruments. Specifically, you hear a lot of string instruments as we go through the album. But how about that? Can you compare? Has their sound definitely evolved?
Well, yeah, actually, with this album, it sounds a lot like their previous ones. I'll say that. Like Circle and Under the Red Cloud. I think it sounds a lot like those. It's just the elements that kind of pop up at times that sound kind of like Elegy or 10,000 Legs or Tuonela. They're not all that different. It's just how heavy do they go and what elements they kind of sprinkle throughout the album. I think they're a band that I've always loved just because there's so many different sort of facets to offer. I can really respect that.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to our next song here. This is Message in a Bottle. No, this is Message in Amber. Alrighty, I'm going to give the album, its due right off the bat. It's very interesting music. I think, the combination of death growl and progressive musicianship makes for a very interesting sound. But more importantly, a drunken naked man is subdued at Diamond Jack's Casino in Louisiana.
Where was he subdued at?
Diamond Jack's Casino in Louisiana.
Was it a topless casino?
Apparently not.
Damn it, Jesse, I'm sorry you can't take the boys there.
Yeah, sorry. No naked gambling for you, Jesse.
Things are bass backwards on this show.
When officers arrived, they spotted a man running around on the second floor of the casino. He was naked and in an excited state, police said.
He was in an excited state.
A Texas man faces several charges after he allegedly threw chairs at police officers while drunk and naked inside a Louisiana casino.
I have such a foot cramp. Why? Why do I have a foot cramp? Fuck.
Woman toting drugs stops to ask police for directions, is arrested, authorities say.
Hey, was she at a Twin Peaks?
So, Jesse, did you want to talk about music?
Can we please go back to Message in the Amber?
No one stopped you.
Oh, okay, all right. It was a great Nordic feel to the song, and I don't think we got to it, but there are points definitely throughout the album where the choir shines that they bring into a lot of these songs, and I think this is one of them. This track has got a great part where the choir just start belting out some great stuff. And there are listenable songs, and there are whistleable songs. I could whistle this one all day long. This is my favorite whistleable track on here.
I don't think that's a word.
I done made it up, sir. Go talk about breasts to somebody else.
I don't know why you connected those two things.
Titties.
Thank you, Robert Cooper.
You're welcome.
I'm very upset about things right now.
What is it? What is your problem?
Would you like to know what my problem is?
Yes.
So I have a whole week of shows revolving around Creed 2 planned, and I can't get either Robert Winfrey or Pat Mullen to review Creed 2 with me.
Why?
Because they hate black people.
Hey, are they like my uncle? Do they watch Korean dramas?
It's entirely possible. So I need to get somebody else.
Are we covering? Are we doing a Creed retrospective here on Metal Hammer of Doom to tie that in for the week?
No, we'll be reviewing Rocky. We're going to be reviewing Rocky 4.
We should just.
Oh, that's right. That's even better.
Oh no, we'll be doing a black metal retrospective.
Waka waka.
That's a good one. That's nice.
That's where that Black Death joke was going. Y'all just didn't know what I was talking about, so I decided to change it up a little.
Very good. Jesse, what am I going to do?
My wife.
Mark, my advice would not to be scheduling on the podcast. How's that?
I'm not scheduling.
Do that later.
It's already scheduled. What I'm trying to figure out is who's going to review it with me.
I don't know what to tell you, sir. I got to watch Creed 1 first. When the hell does the new one come out?
November.
I've got plenty of time.
You do.
If you have nobody else that will join you, I will join you, sir. I will gladly go out and watch it. I did that for Tomb Raider, and I didn't even get on the show. I was just there and completely cut out my audio problem.
Sorry. I said I was sorry.
I'm not picking at you. I thought that was probably one of the funnier shows this year that we released, where Mark was laughing at nobody and carrying on a conversation by himself while he reviewed Tomb Raider.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. It was what?
He just sounded crazy.
Yes, and I released the show, sir. It was a one-sided conversation. Me and Ronnie were on there but our audio did not get picked up. It was just Mark fucking talking to us. So I shortened the gaps of silence, and it all ran together. And it's probably, dude, it's him laughing, and then he'll make a joke, and then he'll sit there and laugh again. It's like he's gone insane. But anyway, yes, I'll watch it. I'll watch it for you, sir. I'll join you on Creed 2.
Yay! All right,
put it down.
We can continue with the show now.
I do it. It's just I'm not sure if I can get off. I'm like a eunuch.
I was going to say that there's a lot going on with that entire sentence. I'll do it, but I'm not sure if I can get off. Like, I bet a lot of hookers have heard that in their lifetime.
Hi-yo.
Hi-yo.
You think they work at Twin Peaks?
So hold on, I've got to bring this up because it's a necessary evil to talk about something that ties in with Marcus. What Mark brought up. So Mark brought up the whole fart joke, or not joke, but the whole fart situation that he had. I know somebody that went into surgery, so I just sent a message and said, how is so and so, and the answer I got was better. She's up, walking, and passing gas. Gets to go home tomorrow.
Woo!
Right.
Passing gas.
Back surgery. I don't understand how that ties into it, but it does.
It's like I have a friend that told me she was starting yoga, and I'm like, you know about the farts, right? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh.
So before we get into the next track here, I need you to be, Robert, I need you in North Carolina to be my reporter on the scene for this following information that I'm going to share with you. KFC is testing fried chicken and waffles in North Carolina.
Ooh.
I'm going to need you to go to KFC and order yourself some chicken and waffles and report back here if it's not poisonous.
Cool. I'm thinking of going to a cat cafe tomorrow.
Is it topless?
There's waffles.
Wait, did you see a cat cafe? Like,
yeah.
Like losers and their cats?
No, it's like a cafe where people have like cats and you can pet them and cuddle. It sounds like heaven to me.
It sounds like you got a lot of hair in your food.
Sounds like the worst thing ever.
Do you know how many cats I have? It's 12 cats.
Fuck, man.
I'm going to continue on with the show because this is... I mean, I understand where we started here, but this still feels very sad. Anyway, this is...
Hear about my love life?
This is Daughters of Hate.
a bridge. Should we admit on the road or dream that we would look each other in the eye? Time and again they come to me in the darkness of the night, and the raven-haired girl whispers her listless
Alrighty. Jesse, what'd you think of that one?
It's a good one. It's really good. I like this one. There's an element of a saxophone in this one.
Yeah, this had like a kind of Arab feel to it, didn't it?
Sorry. What kind of a feel again? Sorry, I had the soothing sounds of Robert Cooper going in my other ear.
Had kind of like an Arab, Middle Eastern feel.
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
I get that a lot through here, and to where I thought when I saw that these guys were from Finland, it took me by surprise. This is the first time I really did some research on the band was tonight. I mean, I've enjoyed their sound.
I feel so bad that you actually put effort into this show.
Well,
I put effort into this show.
Trust me, the next show I will be all up on all sorts of dietary needs, things that will make your make your gut feel okay, gut flora, and all that great stuff.
Things that make your bum go hmm.
They do not make your bum go hmm. That fucker needs a tune-up. Jeez.
At least your bum doesn't go,
Hmm.
Bum go. So.
Waka waka.
Yeah, but it had the Middle Eastern stuff. There's a Middle Eastern influence throughout this album. There's one song, I don't know if it was this one or if it was one on down the road where the reviews that I was reading definitely said that you could see that these guys had been touring with Orphanland. And Coop, is that right? Are they still touring with them right now, or is that something that they did last year? Any idea?
where was that?
They were with Orphanland at some point, touring with Orphanland.
Orphanland were with Tyr, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, Amorphis has a fall tour. Give me a second.
Maybe they're talking about upcoming. But regardless, I could see the parallels between the two. So, what do you see there, Coop? I know it's fall tours coming to America, right?
Yeah.
I
Let's go with,
live in America.
Ain't that the truth? But, in terms of that Middle Eastern sound, I totally heard it. It actually reminded me a little bit of Niles. It reminded me more of the instrumentation that Nile uses to get that sound than Orphanland. Orphanland uses a little bit more of the authentic instruments like the sitar. Niles almost sounds a little more almost produced using, I guess, more man-made means, something like a synthesized version of it.
Mm-hmm. Just real quick, I did find at least one tour. Orphanland was confirmed to tour Europe with Amorphis Ghost Brigade. That was November of 2010. So that's a while back.
Another weekend I didn't get laid. It's a Monday morning Amp Brigade. Who's got the Sorry.
Sure.
You've never heard Monday morning Amp Brigade?
No, but does it have anything about cats in the rain?
Does anyone want it? Who left my cat out in the rain? It's a punk rock song, and
I knew it was something to do with punk.
And the chorus is "Another weekend I didn't get laid." It's Robert Cooper's Ant Brigade.
Meh. I misspoke earlier, by the way. There's 33 states that you can go topless in. So not one of a few, one of many states Ohio can you can go topless in.
North Carolina. Hey, I figured out who they're touring with. Holy shit! They announced this tour in February.
Yeah,
it is. It's Amorphis, Dark Tranquility.
Why would you bring up the nudity thing again? Do you really want me back on this topic?
It's called misinformation, and I'm correcting myself. Okay? It's called being a good podcaster.
Is that what we're doing? Is that we're doing a good podcast? I'm sorry.
Who's on the tour? Who's on the tour, Coop? You said it was going to be who now?
It's Amorphis, Dark Tranquility, Moonspell, and Omnium Gatherum.
Oh my goodness! Now I've heard of.
Bands are awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, what was that third one you mentioned?
Oh, Moonspell.
I don't know that. I don't know those guys.
They're from Spain.
I love wearing my Moonspell shirt because they used to be a black metal band. So they have the scratchy logo. It's so much fun.
Oh, deal.
Moonspell actually does a really good cover of Mr. Crowley. You want to hear it? You want to do anything but cover this album? Because that's the mood I'm in right now.
If you want to go to bed, the idea would be to go through the album as quick as possible. You are the exact opposite, and I fear for your sanity, sir.
He is dragging his ass faster than a dog with worms.
Not on the car.
Damn, they're not even coming to Ohio.
They aren't? I thought they were going to be going. Somebody was going to be showing up. I think it was.
You know why they're not playing in Ohio? Not enough topless steakhouses.
Apparently not.
They're playing in Tampa and they're playing in West Palm Beach.
Somebody was going to Bogart's here. Mark, you shared it with me. They were going to Bogart's in Cincinnati, and I can't remember which band it was. I thought it was Amorphis, but maybe it was
Trivium and Avatar.
There we go. Yeah, because we were talking about Avatar Country.
Avatar Country. I'm very upset that Clutch is playing on a Tuesday night in Orlando, and that's their only Florida show.
Fucking Pittsburgh, man. I got to go to Pittsburgh, which ain't that bad, to be honest.
Talk about the Schittsburg.
Yeah, but it ain't that good, neither.
It's a tough place to go to. But I don't know. I mean, I'd love to go see him. I can't wait for this new album by Clutch, too, man. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be pretty clutch.
I think it's good. I think that one I'll actually focus on as opposed to this album where I'm doing everything but focusing on it. It's such a good album. No, you're right. I'm not being fair to Flair because this is a very well layered album. It's a very interesting album, but my head's not really in the game tonight, so all I want to do is talk about gas and play other music and generally be an ADHD riddled child. All right, I'm gonna put my game face on now. I'm gonna be the Jesse Starcher to this podcast. Okay, I'm gonna be the only serious one. Are you ready?
Oh, please, yeah, to go for it.
I can
surely you're not going to be serious.
Surely.
Of course I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley Dick.
Shirley
Dick.
I decided to be unnecessarily aggressive. All right, speaking of unnecessarily aggressive, have I told you how much gas I passed earlier? Anyway.
Like a Clydesdale.
Speaking of Clydesdale, this is the Golden Elk. Here we go.
carries it before her footsteps. Me ever alerts, for she will not wait. Give her a fleeting moment. She's the golden nail, the mother of time and tide, shaver of destinies. Give her a fleeting moment. She's the golden nail, the mother of time and tide. Do not hesitate then to resist her call. Be ever alert, for she will not wait. The queen of time keeps you to direction, predicts your path.
You know what's interesting about this is, so I make when we do these shows, I make playlists of the albums that we're going to listen to. Just I find the album and I do create playlists on Spotify. So I'm playing these off of Spotify now, and at the bottom it's recommended songs. You know what the recommended songs for these are?
Past the Dutchie on the left-hand side.
Close. Fat Bottom Girls by Queen.
Fat bottom girls?
I mean,
You get-
they make the rock and world go round.
You do.
It gets better. Flash from Queen, from the Flash Gordon soundtrack.
Oh, wait a second now.
Okay, The Great Pretender by Freddie Mercury.
I'm detecting a theme.
Council of Wolves and Snakes, de Moubourgir. Interdimensional Summit, de Moubourgir. Narcissist Cataclysm. Fat Bottom Girls Again by Queen, this time not the single version. And Atoma, Dark Tranquility. So apparently, according to the algorithm that
Dark
runs
Tranquility.
Spotify, Amorphis is a combination of black metal and Queen.
Well, Dark Tranquility is not black metal.
No, it's not.
I love their early stuff. I need to listen to more of their late stuff. Like The Gallery and fucking Mind's Eye are amazing.
What did you think of the Golden Elk there, Jesse Starcher?
That's another strong one. I mean, this album really hasn't let up with some strong tracks here. Some great stuff. I think we're ramping up to get into the stuff that I really enjoy. Daughter of Hate was probably one of the heaviest tracks off of here, and Golden Elk. It kind of kept the pace a little bit, but it's not one of my favorites. But again, I don't think there's a song off of here I dislike to where I can say, oh man, that one needs to be off of here. And so we're 4 tracks in. I mean, I liked it.
Robert Cooper.
I think it should be called the Golden Tony Delk, after the basketball player.
Dude, that is... There's references, and then there's references, okay? I don't know who the fuck Tony Delk is, but I guess I'm going to have to go to Google. Tony Delk,
He's a big
career
black
high.
guy.
Let's take a look here. American basketball player coach. Tony Lorenzo Delk is an American former professional basketball player. Most recently, he was assistant coach for the New Mexico State Aggies. Okay, well, now why did you bring him up? Never mind. 1996 NBA draft by the Charlotte Hornets.
Well, because Elk, Delk, same thing.
He was traded by the Hornets along with Muggsy Bogues to the Golden State Warriors for B.J. Armstrong on November 7th of 1997. Two of those people were on the NBA Jam game. B.J. Armstrong was on there, wasn't he? Along with Muggsy Bogues?
Of course.
Thank you. All
Who
right.
doesn't love Muggsy?
Fucking B.J. Armstrong kissed my ass on that game. I hated the Bulls. I hated them.
And you know what's funny? The reason they had B.J. Armstrong is because they didn't want to pay Michael Jordan.
MJ wasn't on there, was he? It was Pippen, BJ, and then
Yeah.
Who else was it? There was a third person you could always select. Shit.
I hope it was Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Well,
They were in the game.
you can put a code for that in. I remember that. Mark Radulich has played plenty of video games. Don't get him started.
Well, there's a Hood Mall and like near downtown where I live, and they used to have an NBA Jam machine.
Horace Grant, if I remember correctly. Horace Grant was the third player.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Horace Grant. NBA Jam Bulls players.
That's funny. They remade NBA Jam and nobody cared.
It was sad, wasn't it? I loved the original Super Nintendo version. I think I still have it. If I remember correctly.
Like NBA Street was like the best successor to that. I loved NBA Street.
Yep, Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. And I swear B.J. Armstrong was the third guy you could pick. But anyway. All right, Mark, you're the serious man. Move the podcast along.
We arrested Floyd Mayweather's personal chef last week. And I'm trying to see if she made the news and all. It doesn't look like she did. We found out after she had already bonded out, which was the same day. So, she never made it out of booking. But we found out after she bonded out that she was Floyd Mayweather. Like, no one knew who she was, and she just seemed like a crazy person, to the point where we had to give her an ETO. But as it turns out, she was Floyd Mayweather's personal chef.
No kidding.
Nope. And I can't find anything about it. And it's very depressing because I wanted to share it on the show. Oh well, let's move on.
I knew you were quiet for some reason.
Well, it's because he was trying to figure out who Tony Delk was.
Yeah, I lost interest in that conversation real quick. All right. Speaking of being a celebrity chef and getting arrested, this next song is called Wrong Direction.
Wrong hole.
Everything had turned upside down. As I was struggling to the mountain peak, I had dug into the grave of all. I should have understood. I should have seen it coming. The signs on the road had changed. The fires on the mountain died.
That and I mean this in a complimentary way, believe it or not. But that chorus there, just the instrumentation of the chorus kind of reminds me of that one Linkin Park song from the Transformers movie. However, this is a much better song overall.
I don't really I don't really hear what you've done.
Hear what I've done? Oh, if I do it again, I'll put the microphone to my ass. But
Ooh.
No, the song was called "What I've Done." That was the Linkin Park song.
There's a lot of really
I think, wasn't it?
yes. What I've done, what you've done, what she's done. I don't know. Anyway, wrong direction. Again, had a little bit of that Linkin Park feel to it. Actually, I like the song a lot. It's a lot of fun song. It's a lot of fun. I'm so tired, Jesse.
Oh, well, you're almost there. We're halfway there, aren't we?
I don't know. Maybe.
It's 10 tracks. I think we're at track 5. So,
You need to keep track of it.
man, I swear we need Justin Thomas and Robert Cooper on the same podcast.
Hey, who else do we need on this podcast, Robert Cooper? Everyone take a drink. Get ready.
We need my buddy Nick. He's actually moving back into town for 2 months before he moves to Ohio.
Oh,
Has he heard about the topless steakhouses?
No, he's actually moving there because he's got a full ride to Bowling Green for his doctorate.
Hey, Melissa, have you tried to sneak past me, didn't you?
Ask her if
damn
she
it.
Ask her if she's heard about the Bowling Green massacre.
No, but tell you what, she got on my case the other night because apparently I was dead asleep. Like, she thought like I died in my sleep, but she knew I was alive because I kept farting in her face.
gosh.
You know what's the worst thing I ever did? I ate Taco Bell at 6 and then a whole box of Raisin Bran at about
It sounds terrible.
So
Melissa, you used to live in Ohio.
I did.
Do you know of any topless steakhouses?
Oh,
Jesse's trying to take his son to one.
yeah.
What about Japan? Were there any topless steakhouses in Japan?
Were there any? Robert Cooper wants to know if there's any topless steakhouses in Japan.
Probably.
Okay.
And when they take off their shirt, do you know itadakima?
Hang on. You're going to have to do that joke for her.
No,
Give me a second.
Okay, so apparently you're supposed to do a joke for me.
Women's rights. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the joke I was aiming for. I was going to say, so in the topless bar, when they walk up to you, do you just yell, itadakimasu?
Dozo. All right.
My wife, ladies and gentlemen, she's a card. Anyway.
Jeez.
So
Mark, shall we remind our listeners that you are trying to get me to take my son to a restaurant, and you're the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified.
Yes, indeed. What's the problem?
All right.
I think about restaurants. I mean,
What's
quite
next?
frankly, I can take it or leave it.
All right. This next song, speaking of restaurants, is called Heart of the Giant. Oh, crap. Whoops. No. There we go.
No.
This is a song about Vader.
Oh, no.
Oh. Rest in peace.
Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Go, Gadget, go!
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Go, Gadget, go!
Fucking break me this episode, I swear.
What is happening? What are you complaining about over there?
Nothing.
No,
wanted to put Richard Childress out of he wanted to put Richard Childress out of business. He decided to open his own wine factory.
I just don't... References.
That joke has gotten me places because Richard Childress' vineyard is like 15
That's what I'll
minutes
say.
from my house.
It's probably.
I missed
big
what you
down
said.
that way.
Something about what's happening with this podcast? What's your problem?
I said you're going to fucking break me.
Oh, cool.
You're on your way to breaking me this episode.
Have you
Heart of
ever...
the Giant, motherfucker.
Hey, Jesse.
Yes.
Did you know that there was a band called the... Did you know that there's a band called the Revolting Cocks?
A bank?
Dude, I wish. A band.
A band. Actually, I think I've heard of these guys.
We should listen to the Revolting Cocks. I'm going to go ahead and find them.
Revolting goat cocks.
Oh my gosh.
Revolting...
Tony Delk, Revolting Cox.
Revolting Cocks. Here we go. I want to
Tony
see if
Delk.
I want to see if they have the 12-minute version of Beer, Steers, and Queers. just like I'm just fucking done with this.
Please
podcast.
don't let this be somebody's first time listening to us.
Ouch.
I mean, am I wrong? In terms of a representation of what we offer, this is kind of
I don't know.
just silliness.
I feel like this is right on point.
Well, true, but I think we've gone a little bit. If there were a silliness like on a 1 to 10, I think our knob went to 11, and I ain't talking that knob.
So, do you know what the Revolting Cocks is, Jesse?
It's a band. It's not a bank.
It's definitely a band, it's not a bank. It's
If it were a bank.
It's one of Uncle.
I bet you they're a punk band, aren't they?
No, they're an industrial band, and it's one of Uncle Al's.
Maybe that's how they came up before.
We're tired of it.
It's one of it's one of Uncle Al's side projects.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Active since 1985.
You should. Here, I'm gonna play something for you.
Do it.
Here we go. I'm gonna play it for your ass. You ready?
Play it for my ace.
Well, why would he stick
Now
headphones
let's
up
you
his
just drop
butt?
them pants.
Drop?
Just take them right off. Come on, squeal, squeal. Come on, squeal, squeal.
Minds are empty, heads are hollow. You might find out the truth is hard to swallow. There's a place down there where heads are square, laws are dumb.
lets you just drop them pants.
What'd you think of that, Jesse? That was your first experience with the revolting cocks?
Yes, my goodness, that was wonderful. Whatever that was.
Those beer steers and queers. That was quite the jam back in the day.
I do not doubt that one bit.
Yeah.
That was, when you say back in the day, how far? Are we talking like 19? Oh, wait a second. 1992.
I feel like it was earlier than that. Hang on. Alexa,
Really?
when did the Revolting Cocks, Beer Steers, and Queers come out?
Revolting Cocks released the album Beers, Steers, and Queers in 1990.
1990.
Oh, okay. Wasn't too far off.
No, not too far at all.
I can
So
tell.
it's older than I am.
I can tell by the evolution of scratching. I think that how young it was.
Based on the scratching, you could age the album.
Well, I'm serious when I say that. Believe it or not.
I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it. Not one bit, sir. Not one bit.
Does anyone know what song we're up to?
You fucking gotta be kidding me.
I've lost track.
Okay, we just listened to my favorite song off the album, which is Heart of the Giant.
You should talk
my
about
favorite-
it.
Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? It is one of my favorites off of here. It's heavy. It stays heavy. It's got that hook that stays in your head, as you guys sung as we came right off of the song. And do 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 do. But it's really good. I mean, we got a lot of elements in here. We got the choir. We got the keyboard. And I think this is, if I was to pick one off and put it on a playlist, this is probably it. So, Heart of the Giant, one of my favorites. Coop.
Jesse, have you ever heard of the band Butt Trumpet?
This is a joke, because the punchline is you going to be farting into the fucking microphone.
No.
This is going. You're a shithead.
You know what's funny? So the guitarist of the band Anal Cunt died like 2 weeks ago because he was sliding down an escalator and then fell on his head.
That kid's on the escalator again.
Jeez.
I mean, it's a fitting end for a guy in a band named Anal Cunt.
Wow.
That's sad. Why? Wow, you really brought down the podcast.
I thought it was kind of funny myself.
Let's see if there's any Butt Trumpet on. Yep, there is.
That's like a joke that you ask your kid to pull.
Well, what about-
pull my finger?
You want to hear a band called Button Trumpet there, Billy?
I got the Spotify right here. Here we go.
More like Shatify.
Spotify.
So, okay. The band Butt Trumpet is not on Spotify. It's something else.
Okay.
It's on whatever the fuck Jay-Z's site was. What was it?
What?
Gone in a flash.
Jay-Z had his own music streaming service.
remember.
It's on LimeWire. Let's go with that. Or
Okay.
FrostWire, the better version of it.
Frostwire.
Or
Yeah, FrostWire had less viruses.
I was going to say, or Virus Wire. Anyway, there's a band called Butt Trumpet. You should check them out, Jesse.
Thank you. I will.
You know what else you should check out? John Cougar Concentration Camp.
I
His
wonder
favorite band.
if they're getting like any kind of money from the amount of downloads people that, you know, from our mentions. I feel like we need a cut of that because nobody else is talking about John Cougar Concentration Camp more than this show.
It's true.
Or Goat Penis.
Or Goat Penis.
Or Goat Penis. Lonnie Allen's favorite band.
Oh my goodness.
Man, he's got an epileptic taste in music.
Epileptic? You mean eclectic?
Yes.
No,
Yep.
I think he done meant what he said.
No, I know exactly what I meant to say. It was a joke, and it was a damn good one.
I agree. 100%. 100,000 comic books coming up July 19th. 4 days, actually. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Auction about 45 miles north of here. I'm going to that. Go ahead.
Jesse, have you ever heard of the Lunatics?
I swear I've heard the name of that before. You probably brought them up.
They're a Riot Girl act. I think their most famous song is Jerk of All Trades. Want to hear it?
Why? Why are you delaying the end of this show?
I don't know.
Killing me, man.
All right, let's go to the next track because apparently Jesse...
Let's do that.
Because Jesse doesn't want to hang out with us anymore. He's sick of all of us.
I feel sorry for the...
He's tired of it.
He's tired of it. All right, this is very fitting. This is We Accursed. Hey, Jesse. Did you know that there was a
Isn't it
TV
nice to have a penis?
Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis? Isn't it awfully nice to have a dong? Did you know that there was a show called Hey, Jesse?
No, it's a what?
I did.
There's a Disney show called Hey, Jesse.
Oh, yes. The red-haired chick. Did she have red hair? Okay.
Yeah, it's now become Camp Kiniwaka. I should wake up my daughter and have her sing it for you. Because it's about falling
It'll never be as good as Camp Onawana.
Onomatopoeia?
No, it's from the show called Salute Your Shorts. It's from the 90s. It's a Nickelodeon show.
I remember that show. Didn't watch it a whole lot. Unfortunately, in the 90s, we did not. Well, I lived out where we only had 3 channels. So, off the antennae.
So there's an album.
That was me when I was I was a wee laddie.
There's an album for Hey, Jesse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Don't play it.
You want me to play it for you?
Please, for the love of all that is holy and moly, do not play it.
Holy moly. So the girl's name, I believe, is maybe Debbie Ryan. And
yes, you're right.
And there's an album for the Hey, Jesse show.
No kidding. Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
No! I want to hear Amorphis. I want to talk about Amorphis. I came here to discuss this album. Amorphis.
Why are you yelling at me?
Queen of Time.
All right, go ahead. Talk about it.
Oh, Coop,
Wait, I pitched it to you. Why are you pitching it back to Coop?
you've lost control of this show a long time ago, sir.
Did I ever?
No,
Try to fool me.
He's putting your nose in the poop.
Yes, he is. What you talk about it, then? Go ahead, talk about it.
Go ahead.
Why don't
yeah.
you talk all about it?
I'm going to ask you a very serious question. We just listened to the song "We Accursed." What did you think about it? I thought it had a very battle metal feel to it.
I like, and it's funny because I put triumphant folk sound. It's a triumphant folk sound, in my opinion. What? Now,
Did
one
you
of the
know
reviews.
did you know there's a band called Triumph? You want to hear it?
Also, there's also Triumph the Insult Comedy Dog.
That I do know. Yes.
I did. We're doing it doggy style.
For me to poop on. So,
Do you think Jesse, by the end of this podcast, you're just going to have a stroke?
That I want and you will love it.
the end of this podcast, I may have a party. I think is actually what's going to happen. Stroke me
Did
damn.
a steak party.
A topless steak party?
Topless. Yeah, I'll take my top off.
This is not. I do not. I like double D's, but not like that.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah. Yes,
Are you
sir.
ever going to talk about this album, Jesse?
Why? How are you in my head saying the things I want to say? I don't.
I talked about it. I told you what I thought.
Well, so one of the reviews said whether singing, growling, or screaming, the lyrics always come through with sufficient clarity and stunning articulation. And I do want to point out that I agree with that 100%. These are harsh vocals that you have very little, you have very little trouble trying to figure out what he's saying. The lead singer, which, by the way, his name is Tommy, I assume, or Tommy Jotson. He does a great job, and that's what the things that I really liked about Under the Red Cloud was that mixture of harsh and clean, which I've talked about that on here before, but again, it's something that I have no problem understanding what they're saying. But We Accursed is a good example of that. Actually, all the songs off here are a great example of that. But I really liked We Accursed, so it's a good follow up to one of my favorite song, Heart of the Giant. So, Coop.
Honestly, if I were to gonna compare it to a folk sound, it kind of reminded me a little bit of I don't know if I want to go with like an Alluviati, but it reminded me a lot of what comes out of the British Isles and their folk metal. I really dug it though. I like that there are more folk influences in this album than I've seen on some of their other ones. Especially like Under the Red Cloud, I felt was much more of a melodic death metal sound. This one, it was a really good one. I really enjoyed it.
All right, let's move on to the next song here. This is called Grain of Sand. You know, it's interesting how much of that Middle Eastern influence has permeated this album. Don't you think, Jesse?
I agree. All of a sudden, we're serious now, huh? Want to talk some more about farts?
I don't know.
I just farted myself.
Why would you guys bring down the podcast? I'm trying to be serious here.
Fuck you, Mark Radulich. I tell you what.
I don't know
Yes.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Grain of Sand, I think this one is my second favorite off of here. It's if you look at the lyrics, it is a very like violent, kind of depressing song, and if you haven't picked up on what's going through this whole album lyrically, Amorphis is a great. They do a great job of storytelling, and a lot of their lyrics are almost like an adventure for somebody. So with Grain of Sand, it's pretty much about this this journeyman who is going to find his death no matter which way he goes. But it's got this like almost I don't want to say spacey feel because that's not the right word for
Kevin
it.
Spacey.
No.
The word you're looking for is progressive.
Thanks, Mark. It's 10:43. He is pitching in now. Ladies and gentlemen, this took us this long. Kevin Spacey feel. What do you think of that? You got something to say about that, Mark Radulich. Come on.
Hey, did you know that Supergirl's next season was being based on Red Sun?
No. Seriously?
Yeah, they're doing like a Red Sun spinoff.
Dude. That's reminding me of our previous discussion in regards to the search for Ray Palmer. So, Coop, the search for Ray Palmer, okay?
What about the search for Ray Rice?
You went for the joke that I didn't go for, that I went for, which was, no, wait a second. I've messed that all up. It's getting late, ladies and gentlemen. I've had
beat you it.
podcast.
Jesse, so Tuesday, October 9th, The Flash Season 5 and Black Lightning Season 2 premiere. October 10th, Riverdale and All-American. October 11th, Supernatural and All-American. Friday, October 12th, Dynasty and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Sunday, October 14th, Supergirl and Charmed season premieres. Monday, October 15th, Arrow Season 7 premiere. Thursday, October 18th, Supernatural and Charmed premiere encore. Monday, October 22nd, Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow premiere. And then Thursday, October 25th, Supernatural and Legacies. So, you were asking, like, when should we do the search for Ray Palmer? I guess when Legends was premiering, it's going to be Monday, October 22nd.
Okay. That sounds good.
I remember the search for Ray Palmer.
Okay. Well, you know, there was a book that you wanted to talk about a long time ago, where apparently Ray Palmer goes in through different DC realities. One of which is what was the name of the Batman vampire one again?
Oh, Red Rain.
Yes, he goes into that reality, or at least they go into that reality looking for him. The Red Sun, they go into the Red Sun reality, Gotham by Gaslight. So anyway, that's something we're going to be talking about on the Source Material podcast at some point pretty soon.
Well, I'm pulling up the calendar now to see what we got going on the week of October 22nd, which is when you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
You can't blame me for this. You said.
Man.
You said.
So many things I'd love to throw at you right now. I mean, just
God,
fucking
this sounds like such an abusive relationship.
right in the ear with
I don't
something.
know why. Like, I don't know why Jesse feels his need to attack me all the time. But anyway.
I have a California raisin
gaslighting.
California raisin in my hand right now. That I would throw at you in a heartbeat.
All right.
If I could.
So here's the deal, sir. We can do the search for Ray Palmer if you want ahead of on the actual night that it premieres. But then we gotta lose Batman Haunted Night or move it. Then we gotta move Halloween Night Dance.
Whatever we got to do. You're the schedule master.
All right. So you know what? Maybe we won't do we won't do Zatanna this year. We'll save that for another time. So let's get rid of Zatanna. Let's move Haunted Night. Shit. Let's move Haunted Night. God damn it. Damn sensitive mouse. Ronnie Adams
is a depressed.
Ronnie Adams has a depressed mouse. Okay. So now we're going to do Batman Haunted Night on the 15th of October, and then we'll do Halloween Night Dance ahead of the on trial for Halloween 2 to be on the 29th. And then we'll do the Search for Ray Palmer. Let's see. When did I put the Search for Ray Palmer? Like, I put it way into 2019, it looks like.
Yeah, you had it out there. Good ways. Riveting podcast, right, Coop?
The Search for The Search for Ray Palmer. Here we go. So let's
Search for Ray Liotta.
So let's do let's put that on October 22nd. Are you happy now? You gonna stop yelling at me?
I'm so happy.
Now, with the Search for Ray Palmer situation, are we doing just that story proper, or are we doing all of the other like side stories, like the Gotham by Gaslight and the Red Sun Blood, whatever?
Yeah. No, we don't have to do all the original. You're talking about all the original ones? No way. Yeah, I would say we're just going to go ahead and get into whatever the search is. But that right there is, I think we calculated 8 issues already. Mm-hmm. So, do we
want to do the Search for Ray Palmer Red Sun one ahead of Supergirl, since we've already done the Red Sun? Is there anything else Red Sun that's out there that that could be that we could associate that, or should I just drop this?
You can put it up in front of Supergirl if you want, whichever one you want to do.
Well, no, I mean just because they're specifically playing off the Red Sun Elsewhere title, and so the only other Red Sun thing that I'm aware of is this other book that was a part of the Search for Ray Palmer.
I don't know of any other ones off the top of my head. Okay. We could search and find out if there are, but
I mean, yeah, I can go ahead and do that, but I don't feel like you should be taking up so much of the podcast time to talk about this right now.
Wait. Gosh.
Such an asshole, aren't I?
Yes. It's like you're like, no, I want to one-up myself here. I'm an asshole, but I've got to take it to like level 3 because I'm only at level 2 right now.
I've reached such a level of being a jerk, and I want to see if I can top myself. Yeah. I want to see what it looks like when Jesse Starcher just loses his fucking mind. I've had enough of you.
Takes a lot for me.
We're tired of it.
We're tired of it.
Tired of it.
All right. Jesse Starcher's tired of it. Let's go to Amongst the Stars. Anyone have any idea who the girl is and who's singing in that one? It's pretty good.
Yeah, I can give you a name. Her name is Annika van Gersbergen.
Gesundheit.
So clearly, it's a name that I have a hard time pronouncing. But yeah, she has a beautiful voice and contributes to this song very well. I mean, one of the highlights of this song is hearing her actually, and you know, it stands. This track stands out amongst the rest by them bringing her in. They have a very my notes here. This song becomes very epic, like towards the end when you add in her contribution. We got the choir. I mean, Amorphis is topping themselves. It seems like with each song, because at some point you're like, okay, we're going to get a dud. Because Mark Radulich, you've been known as, to quote Primus, they can't all be zingers, right?
Correct.
That's correct. But I'll tell you right now, this album has not let me down yet. We're 9 songs in. We got the 10th song to go. Are we going to lay it all on the line and kind of play the slow ballad on the way out and maybe just, you know, maybe let our fan base... I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this last track. But I'll tell you right now, the first 9, I'm perfectly pleased with it. Robert Cooper. No, wait. Mark Radulich.
Well, what I was going to say is that despite the fact that I've been super silly on this podcast tonight, and I've been like a drunk driver swerving all over the road, it's actually been a great album. I kind of feel bad that I didn't really give it its due because I was in kind of a silly mood tonight and didn't really want to focus on the music. I just wanted to be more funny than anything else. But, you know, I have to say it's one of the better albums we've reviewed this year so far. I mean, it's no... What did we review last week that I was... It's no Ghost, but it's up there. You know, it's probably top 5 of the year so far. It's a complex, layered, interesting sounding album. I like the use of the Middle Eastern tones and penis.
I mean, isn't it nice to have a penis?
No, penis is our new way of saying I'm done talking.
And then it's Coop's turn. Schlong.
You wanna add to the conversation here, sir, or should I go play the last song of the night and then go to bed and watch Family Guy?
You can keep Family. Family Guy is something I haven't watched in a long while.
That's not what I asked you. I asked
you.
Have
we been answering any of the questions we were asked tonight?
I asked you if there was any comic books that we should review ahead of the new episode, the new season of Supergirl.
And my response was more manga.
Terrific.
Hey, I just want to let you know, Mark Radulich just got a message from a listener to our source material podcast on the Infinity Gauntlet. Would you like me to read that to you, sir?
Delete your channel, homos.
Well, this is the one that
review.
This is the one that me, you, and Pat did. Okay, right. Where we tore Thanos an asshole, and then another asshole, and then another asshole. Okay,
this is gonna be bad and make me feel. This is gonna make me feel bad about myself.
Okay, so a guy by the name of Al Sedano who he runs his own podcast, which is called Reflections. It's called Reflections. Hold on. Now I'm going to have to take a look and see what it's called because I want to give the guy correct.
Was this on YouTube or was this on Twitter? Like, where was the comment?
No, this is he listened. We became Facebook friends through a comic book podcast site. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So he does a show that is called I Just Shared Something from his page. Bear with me. You guys have gone through a lot tonight. You can do this one, okay?
You shared something from his page after he trashed us?
No, he didn't trash us. Listen.
Okay.
Al Sedano, he runs a page called Resurrections, an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. Okay, that's all he does is Adam Warlock and Thanos.
I've seen like I've seen his podcast either through your feed or somewhere else, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes. So okay. All right. So here we go. It usually the theme of their podcast, obviously, an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. They tie it in with either characters, Thanos and Warlock, and they talk about the comics that they're in or that their enemies or friends are in. So I'm actually chatting with him right now, but he says, I almost forgot, just wanted to say I listened to the Infinity Gauntlet episode of your show. While I didn't agree with everything, I like Thanos. I did enjoy it, going to listen to more. So I told him, I said, I appreciate it, and I understand we were rough on him. And man, we come out there, what do we say? Like he was the biggest pussy ever because he was...
Yep. Thanos, you faggot.
Okay, so anyway.
Ooh, pay attention to me, Death. Ooh. I'm so sad.
Oh.
Why won't
Danny
Death
DeVito
love
is
me?
Did you say Danny DeVito as the troll?
That's Pip the Troll, yeah.
Pip the Troll, that's right. Yeah, that's almost like some Wizard magazine if casting. I don't know if you remember that, if you ever read any of that, Coop.
Lord.
Yeah.
Dude, I've got like fucking 10 old issues, actually like fucking 15 old issues of Wizard sitting around that I read like occasionally. Because that's like, I was obsessed with comic books in high school. And that's why I'm still a virgin at 26.
Come on now.
Right,
my wife.
Hang on, I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, I got 11. I got no, wait a second. I think I'm on the order of 18 long boxes now. That
Good.
seems an awful lot.
God.
3, 6,
And
9,
then-
12.
I mean, I have 4 long boxes, one a motherfucking huge Rubbermaid container, 2 crates,
Damn.
a short box, and then I have and then I have an entire bookcase full of manga, and I'm filling up a second bookcase full of manga.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I know you haven't done a whole lot of moving in your life, and we'll just put it that way. But I'll tell you right now, dude, after about the 3rd or 4th move, and you're hauling those long boxes or those boxes of comics somewhere, you will really start to wonder, okay, is it time
How
to
much
get
you
rid of these
really
things?
love it.
Yeah, dude, seriously, I have come very close to getting rid of the major portion of my collection just for space and the fact that I had to move them all last year by myself. I mean, you can put like 4 boxes on a dolly, but when you're going up and down stairs, that doesn't work out the greatest. So, comics are great to a point, but man, and here I am wanting to go to an auction with 100,000 of them coming up next
That's why I
month.
started buying the graphic novels.
That's smart. That's the way to do it. You get your story that you like.
Have you heard of this
Well, not to
website
mention-
called Read Comics Online? It saves you money.
Fucking gosh.
Hey, did you hear about titty restaurants?
It all comes back to the beginning. The end is the beginning is the end. All right. Speaking of the end is the beginning is the end, here's our last song of the night. This is Pyres on the Coast. Alrighty, let's wrap this up. I'm going to give this an album a solid A. You know, despite my silliness tonight, it's a great album. Much credit due to the band. I've had a lot of fun, not only reviewing the album, but having fun with the album. But it's a great listen, and despite our machinations and nonsense, you should absolutely give the album a serious listen. Jesse.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you my final thoughts on this album.
Penis.
Here's the thing.
Nice to have a penis.
This, I don't know if there will be an individual song that makes my playlist here, and I'll tell you why. I have my favorites, but there's the rare occasion that a song will make you want to listen to the rest of the album. You know, when you hear something you really love off of, you know, you that you really, really like, you can say, okay, I know it came off of that album from Hatebreed, but the rest of those songs aren't that great. That's why it makes the playlist. This is Queen of Time is an album that deserves to be listened to all at once because of the journey it takes you on. It's almost a soundtrack to like a crazy adventure film, something that takes place back in like the 17th century or something like that. I picture Assassin's Creed, and we've got this as a soundtrack to it or something. But Amorphis stole my heart with Under the Red Cloud, and with the subsequent Queen of Time, they aren't giving it back anytime soon. So, Al, as to where it places on my Metal Hammer of Doom playlist, no, excuse me, it's a list, album list for the year, it is going just above Ghost's prequel. Just above at number 4, Mark Radulich. So I'm putting it there, and again, as we get towards the end of the year, some of these albums might be jostling back and forth, but I really liked this album backwards and forwards, Ghost as well. So both of which deserve to be in the top 5. Right now, I'm placing Amorphis up there, as this is the Metal Hammer of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that.
I owe you an apology, Jesse, because I was really over the top silly on Monday when we recorded Salvation Run, and I've been over the top silly tonight. But in between, on our Incredibles review, which is up in the archives, I was perfectly fine.
Really?
I mean, Robert and I had a conversation and everything, and but I talked a little bit about Star Wars and how the franchise isn't dead, and people say so are dumb. But apparently it's like this whole week, if I got together with you, I went out of my marbles crazy. So apparently
wonderful. I'm glad.
You bring it out of me, Jesse Starcher. It's all your fault.
Oh boy.
Well,
okay. So it goes to number 4. Mark, you said you give it an A. I turn it over to you, Coop. Let's hear your final thoughts.
I like Cats.
Terrific.
I was just waiting to see how long I was going to get But no, I really enjoyed this album. I love this band. I feel like it's just another great piece of output from them. Give it a solid 4.5 stars, good 9 out of 10. Not much I could find wrong with this. Again, just kind of lives up to their legacy. It's exactly what I expected, and I really need to put in for that day. I can drive down to Durham and go see them with Dark Tranquility.
All right. Next week, Robert, you going to be on the show next week, or are you taking
I
off?
am working.
Of course you are. Well, you picked a good show to take off of. But I'll tell you
Yeah,
why.
I've got a playlist to listen to.
You've got a playlist to listen to, Mr. Jesse Starcher, because next week we review Nine Inch Nails. Are you a good witch or a bad witch or a sandwich? And plus some extra Nine Inch Nails tracks. We'll have some Metal Hammer of Doom extras for you, some old 9 Inch Nails for your ass. It'll be a lot of fun. In the month of July, we'll be on July 4th, Independence Day. We'll be reviewing Kid Rock from last year, Sweet Southern Sugar, I believe it's called. Sweet Southern Sugar.
Oh man.
And then on July 11th, Big Tings. Jesse Starcher, we're going to look at some Big Tings. Are you ready for Big Tings? Big Tings.
Big Tangs. Big Tangs.
Big Tings. And then on the 18th, Lords of Black, Icons of the New Days. So a little Lords of Black for you. We're going to take off the week of the 25th because I'll be at Dave Matthews with a bunch of fucking white people. Fucking white people.
Taking it off. I thought we were doing stuff.
I mean, you can if you want to. If you can figure it out, I won't be there.
Okay, Dad.
I'll leave it up to you. The last time I left it up to you, though, nothing happened. So I just assume you guys can't get your shit together.
Robert Cooper's a working man. If he's not working, we'll do something. If he is working, we'll take a week off. It's okay.
That's right.
I'm a working girl.
You're a working girl. So anyway, that's okay. Robert, if you're not working Tuesday, you can come back on the TV party tonight with me and Winfrey and review Voltron seasons 5 and 6.
Fuck, I'm working Tuesday.
Oh, for fuck's
The only
sake.
day they gave me, the only day that I could do it would be Monday.
Terrific. And then August 1st, we'll have Pat Mullen back on the show. We're going to review Dee Snider for the Love of Metal.
Ow!
So that's what we got going on the Rattleage Broadcasting Network. As far as what's in the archives, Fantastic Four, The Trail of Galactus, featuring Pat Mullen. We've got
Fucking misspellings everywhere. Patrick Mullen.
We've got Damn You Hollywood and a brief note on the Star Wars franchise. Oh, damn you, Hollywood. We've got reviews of Krypton, Ghost, Lordy, Kingdom Come, Cloak and Dagger, Solo. We got it all right here on HBO. All right, so Robert Cooper.
Solo.
Go ahead, Robert Cooper. Tell us about your dumpster fires and cake and how you got punched in the arm.
Yep, there you go. His name was Toby. It was. There's this podcast. I'm on it. There's my Tokusatsu podcast that hasn't released an episode in we're getting close to 4 years. Man, maybe I can have another presidency or something like that. South American.
It only goes live when there's a Democrat in the office. Is that how this works, or every other presidency?
That's what it is. The funny thing about it is actually that I still haven't finished a single Tokusatsu series since then. So I was making good progress, and then I got a manager job and put my head in a bucket.
Jesse starts.
And then I got.
Go ahead, finish. I'm so tired.
Really?
Oh yeah, now you're so tired.
So tired.
I'm so tired. I am so dad.
Ouch.
I'll be here.
Dick. Dick.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what else was there. W2mnet.com, my buddy Sean Garmer, our buddy Sean Garmer. We share content. He's amazing. Nice guy. And then scrapingthebottom.com, my buddy Kevin's podcast. Cake, Fire, Jeff the Asshole, Beards.
Terrific.
Anything else?
Penis.
Anus.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, why would I want to do plugs? You aren't here anyway. You've left at least 20 minutes into this podcast. But for the sake of just consistency, I guess, we've got to do plugs at the end of every podcast. Here we go. ladies and gentlemen, go give the Rattlich in Broadcasting Facebook page a like. I know it seems opposite of what you want to do. If you could thumbs down it, you would, but you're not going to, because you're going to give it a thumbs up. That way you can stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer.
And
all
this
these
one.
upcoming... Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. You want to download this to your audio playing device and never delete it. It'll be there for your enjoyment all the time. You get to listen a little bit of Amorphis, and then you get to listen to a lot of us talking a lot of other shit. So, no, give the Rattlich Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like. Stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. There's all sorts of great stuff out there for you to listen to. We do comic book podcasts. We do podcasts on MMA, TV shows, movies, just about darn near anything that really floats our boat. There's even a possibility that you may hear some new content from me and Mark and anybody else we can get a hold of. As I heard rumblings of the Whiskey Rebellion possibly making a comeback. I don't know. Just be ready for anything. And the only way you're going to know about it is if you like that Facebook page. Now, as for myself, I do a podcast called Source Material. We have a YouTube channel that doesn't just strictly put up comic book content, but we have Metal Hammer of Doom extras. We didn't do those for this week, but there's plenty of them. There's a whole playlist of Metal Hammer of Doom extras where me and Mark get together and we watch music videos and we comment over the music videos a la Beavis and Butthead. So, if you're into something like that, you can watch the video and listen to us comment about it. Go check that out, if you will. I am a contributor to, I gotta plug these guys. I am a contributor to the UnspokenDecade.com. Okay? It's a 1990s comic book website and Facebook page where we talk 90s comics. That's pretty much all there is to it. We have a show that we're planning on putting together here, an actual podcast coming up in the middle of July about a DC series called Hacker Files. So kind of keep an eye open for that. That may drop sooner or later than July, but watch for it. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my boys at the. Now I always say it's not the. Over at Kapow, the Pop Cultured Podcast, I had the opportunity to sit down live with 3 other guys and do a CBIQ from Wizard Magazine, 25 years old, from June of 1993. And we had a great time. We also did something very interesting on that podcast. Mark Rattlich, you probably would have been interested in something like this. They take a creator,
Was
whether
it a
it be
topless steakhouse?
no, although
Is this the band creator?
oh boy. So, you take a creator of something, either a director, an artist, a writer, an actor,
Celebrity chef.
and you have to pick the one thing that they are known for, and that's it. So, of all their works, you have to pick something that goes like either on their tombstone or the one thing that they done that means the most to everybody, and it's voted on. So I was the first guest to have to pick somebody. Guess who I picked, and we had a discussion about Steven Spielberg. So we had to pick something that he did, and we all had to vote on it as to what it was. Would you guys like to know what that creation was that won?
Was it Yum Yum
Tiny
Breakfast
Toon
Burrito?
Adventures.
Tune in to Kapow, the Pop Culture Podcast, to find out. That's right. I'm not telling you.
Was it? Are you sure it wasn't Yum Yum Breakfast Burrito?
And that is it.
You know what? You know what comic you should totally look at on your Obscure Comics podcast there, Jesse?
Tell me.
Gotham Central.
Gotham Central. That is I've heard of that. I've never read it, but I've heard of it.
Yum Yum Breakfast Burrito.
I got it from the library.
Well, good deal. Good deal. All right, I'm ready to get out of here. Come on.
It's a crime book that follows the Gotham City Police Department.
I was going to say I've heard of this because a lot of people were wanting a similar theme for the Green Lantern Corps. Which
I was just hoping for that on Gotham, but instead it was like Batman Begins.
Yeah, get Mark started on Gotham. He's a big fan.
Is he?
No.
I've never watched it. It looks kind of stupid.
It's kind of stupid.
Oh, goodness. I'm done, Mark Radulich. Penis all the way.
All right.
Whoa. What? Did
All
you,
right.
did you
All
jump a little?
All right, penis. Here we go, penis.
Uh,
Young breakfast penis. All right.
Penis.
Penis. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Oh,
terrible.
even a squealing hog.
One of the better albums of the year.
Yep. And we shat all over it and ourselves.
Oh, we didn't
We can't-
shit all
we
over
can't
it.
say
We
anything
just
bad
ignored
about
it.
Yes, that's what's unfortunate.
All right. Speaking of unfortunate, this has been the Metal Hammer of Doom. We'll be back next week with
Fire.
9 Inch Nails. Are you a good witch? Are you a bad witch? Or are you a sandwich?
Are you a sandwich?
That's right. How many times I've said that joke? But be well, be safe, and behave.
Which is which?